When I was a kid, there were several times that towards the end of the year, I would receive a bookmark or a kind of a postcard sort of thing with a calendar on it. And it was a calendar for how to read through the Bible in a year. Now, that's quite a bit of reading for a young person, but I was pretty determined, and every year when I got one of those, I would make a New Year's resolution. I am going to read through the Bible in a year. And I would do great. I'd get up every morning and I'd read my couple chapters in Genesis and my chapter in John, and it would keep going about until I hit the book of Leviticus. And when I hit Leviticus, everything just kind of fell apart. And I didn't keep my New Year's resolution. And I felt guilty about it. And I felt as though I'd not just disappointed myself, but also that I'd disappointed God in the process. And it was discouraging. And finally, I reached the point that one year, kind of sarcastically, I said, next year, my New Year's resolution is going to be to not do any more New Year's resolutions. Now, I'm not opposed to New Year's resolutions. If you do New Year's resolutions and they are helpful to you, then more power to you. That's wonderful. But we do have a tendency to focus on big goals when perhaps sometimes we should be focusing on smaller goals from day to day. This is especially true, I think, in the church when we encourage people to make big and grand decisions about the scope of their life. I'm dedicating my life to the service of God, which is wonderful. I'm committed that when I grow up, I'm going to be a missionary to China or Guatemala or whatever. Or when I finish high school, I'm going to go to Bible school and then I'm going to be a pastor. And those are all fine things, but they can be dangerous because when we focus on those big, grand goals, we sometimes can use that as a way of avoiding looking at what we're going to do today and tomorrow and the next day. And when I used to work with youth group kids and one of the teens would say to me, when I grow up, I'm going to be a pastor, I would respond by saying, and what are you going to do tomorrow? Because the truth of the matter is, if we are not step by step, day by day, planning and preparing to serve God and live for Him and live in a manner that honors Him, 10 years down the road, we won't be ready for that thing that we committed to. So I'd like to suggest that what we ought to do is do new day resolutions. Every day when you get up, perhaps there's a scripture passage that you've read or that the Spirit of God has brought to your mind, and it triggers a thought of, this is something I need to work on today. And so you make a resolution. Today, with God's help and the Spirit working in me, I am going to be more compassionate toward my children. Or I am not going to sit in the lunchroom at my workplace and gossip about my coworkers. Or I am going to today get on the phone with my neighbor who is ill and say, is there anything I can do to help? Or perhaps commit to, I am not going to post something on social media without checking first to see if it's really true. And I think we should be doing these kinds of things not yearly, but daily. Why? Well, because the Christian faith is a sort of immediate kind of thing. That's why Jesus says, give us this day our daily bread. Every morning we get up and we have a fresh new day ahead of us, and frankly, we are weak. I shouldn't speak for you. I am weak. Perhaps you are too. Never mind, I can't get through Leviticus on schedule. I can barely make it to noontime without breaking the resolution I've set for myself. But here's the wonderful thing. We get to the end of the day, and we look back on the day and we say, oh, God, I blew it again. I'm sorry. And then we get up in the morning, and what does the book of Lamentations tell us? His mercies are new every morning. Great is His faithfulness. God, I blew it. And God says, that was yesterday. I don't even know what you're talking about. This is a fresh, brand new day full of my mercy, so let's just get started again. His mercies are new every morning. Great is His faithfulness.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever wilt be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord.